Hello and welcome to the Christmas 3D box card walkthrough tour. And what I'd like to do is just give you a little bit of an overview of what you can find on this CD. And what a fun CD it is, something a little bit different. And on this one we're going to make the 3D box cards. So it runs on your Apple Mac and your PC and uses Adobe Reader to work from. And what we're going to do is just pop it into the tray, and then it's all menu driven, so you click and point where you want to go. And I'll just run you through now the elements that we can find on the CD. I'll start off here with the backing papers. We can see we've got a range of items here, but let's just have a look at the backing papers. Again, I like to mat and layer, and those of you that are used to my CDs will know that what I'm going to give you is the full colour range and a light version as well. Now on this CD we've got backing papers here, and they come in 3 boxes. We've got 60 backing papers here, 120 in total, because we've also got them in the tints for you. As you can see, what I've done is try to choose quite a nice range, and I've tried to make things a little bit smaller on this as well to scale down to the actual box card itself. So we can see here that we've got a lovely just range of coloured papers here. I've gone for a gold, and again this is one I rather like, to sort of a gold texture on there, through to our more traditional Christmas images here, but also we've got the butterflies as well, which are always popular. And here again a real traditional sort of Christmassy paper, a little bit more fun for the young at heart, through to something like this, which is what I call the curtains, the Christmas curtains. Again, just a lovely backing paper that we can use there, through to something like this with the browns. So the colours which I'm looking at are obviously the colours that we'd think of and associate with Christmas. But I've also got quite a lot of purple in this as well. That's apparently this year's Christmas colour, but I think it works well. Sorry, just coming back to this one to show you. Incidentally, you can see here to navigate, all you need to do is just click onto the return buttons, and again if I click on to return there, I can come back to this menu and we can see we've got another 20 lovely backing papers here for you to choose from. And I'm just sort of very quickly just flicking through to show you. So I'd like to feel that we've got a really nice selection, a little bit of everything. Another area that I've explored is sort of a bit more black and white on this one as well. I've got some darker papers in black and white that I thought would probably work quite nicely. And just coming back here to this page, again something like this, our traditional sort of silvers and reds that we would expect with Christmas, and of course our snowflakes as well, but everything just a little bit different. And again, these are all new, nothing here is repeated on any of the other CDs, so it's just a way of, I think, just adding extra elements to our as backing papers ready to make our boxes, and then the templates will fit down within those. And last but not least, here we go, another black and white paper on there. So those are our backing papers, and then as we come back here, as we come back, and we've also got them in the tints as well, just to pick some at random here to show you that it's the same colour, but just I put the tint on it for you. You don't need a graphics package or anything. The work is done to give you the best and optimum performance, I think, between the two papers for matte and layering. So those are our major papers here, which you'll use if you want to for the back of and the cover of the box. And I would probably my thoughts on this is that the lighter papers used for the box, and then we can use the darker ones for the front. But I've also, while we've got that, just coming here to show you a range of images which I've produced that will fit on the front of the box as well, of the card that then will just be cut in half and produce the flaps at the front. And these are obviously pre-done and sized up for you as images that we can use, which I think look rather nice actually. But I've also designed them so you mat and layer, so this you will see some of the original paper underneath, or you could even put a little bit of mirror board if you want to as well. There's a little bit of what I call wiggle room built into it to allow you for the mat and layering as well. But predominantly what I want to show you here is that they're sized up for you. And of course when we come to the front covers, you can use the lovely dies to work with. My range, the all occasion dies, will work beautifully on here as well, because we've got the vertical and the horizontal. But you can see here our squares already pre-done for you to print out if you want to. So to use those as well. And again, a nice range in the sets here. Now on these I've got quite a few religious cards in here. So I've got the stone wall, which I think would look rather nice on the front, then having the stained glass windows on the inside. And we've yet to show you those what the main images are that fit into the box. Here's, if you've enjoyed the Mechanica CD, I've got something here, and again my darker little toppers for you, through to something like this, and our tree, Christmas tree, and we've got a Merry Christmas and a scene here as well that you could work up with other elements on the CD. Okay, but let's look at the box images. Again, two sets, we've got 40 here, so a lot to choose from. And we start off with perhaps a more traditional look at our cards here for Christmas. I've gone for the sort of the vintage, sort of Victoriana look, which I know a lot of you enjoy and like to work with. Now with the box, what I've done is, where applicable, I've given you decoupage if you want to use it, and you don't have to. They look great, and if you do decoupage, I would recommend just using 1mm pads, and then that can be applied on here and you've got a lovely looking card. But you can also, if you want to, add these little front pieces as well. And again, the video tutorial shows you how to make the boxes, and they are so simple. It's a really lovely card. What I love about these is it's a beautiful card, and you open it up and there's a lovely box inside. So it's for me it's a double whammy with the card making. So these, as I said, are more traditional images, and these are just sized to fit straight into the back of the box of the card there. And again, we've got a sort of a vintage feel, and then moving on to the more fun ones, a little bit more contemporary Christmas cards. And again, these ones here will come in various sort of flavours for you. And on this one, I've got a decoupage, but I've also got what I call simple stackupage. These 3 layers just build up, because we have to be careful when the card folds that it doesn't catch on some of the elements. So try and keep everything centralised. Now you may find, depending on the card, I recommend 160 GSM for this, and you will find as you go through that you might find even thinner card. Strangely enough, the thinner the card, the better. Normally I'm saying use 250. On this one, 160 is more than ample. But if the fold's starting to catch the sack, then leave that out and just pop that layer on instead. But we try and keep an area clear around it. But the stackupage works really well, gives you depth on the card, and it folds beautifully as well. So with these images, as I said, some really just good traditional images. We've got snowmen, wouldn't be the same without them. Again, a decoupage if you want it, stackupage, nice and simple to cut out and look effective. And again, just some fun images for you on there. Gingerbread people and penguins. I always try and bring you penguins every year. These are the little fellas this year. And on this one, you can again use 1mm foam pads and just decoupage them up if you want to, or just pop a little hole in and hang them, because you could hang things in the boxes as well on a thread. So I've given you a clear background, and you can use that if you want to as a technique. Don't forget, you can put anything that you like in these boxes. This is my serving suggestion for you, and I've given you, I think, 40 lovely cards that you can work with. And of course you can use these images for traditional cards as well. They don't have to be the 3D box cards, but that's what they're made for. And we can see here again simple decoupage that you could build up using our very thin 1mm foam pads. And on this one, again, it's a much more of a contemporary feel. They're just lovely images that you can use. And on this one, I've got two sort of styles of tree. We can use this one here, or we've got this one, which again, if you want to, you've got a clear background, so you could hang one of the trees if you wanted to. That was the rationale behind that. Again, with the fireplace here, you can either use it just flat, you could decoupage it, or you could just cut these out and then just hang them across on the box as well. So they're just hanging in front of the fireplace if you want to. They're just, I think, just makes your card making a little bit more fun. And again, here we've got simple stackopage which can build up on here, or we've got the layers which build up in front. They are a bit tricky to do. I've got them on the video, and I've put them on there because you may want to experiment with it. It's up to you. But I think the stackopage works nicely. But yeah, give it a go and see. It adds another sort of dimension to your cards. Here, Christmas bunnies. You know, my son loves his rabbits. I always try and put a card in for him. And again, through to our stackopage here. And just really just lovely images. Nice black and white one here. Ringing the change. Remember, we've got those lovely, what I call squares to work with. Again, just using a simple imagery here for you to work with. And digital Christmas tree. I've done this for the techie lovers out there, teenagers. Circuitry board Christmas, mobile phones, the works. It's there for them. And to counter that, for those of us that remember and love a more traditional Christmas, we've got images like this. Again, just a simple stackopage, or you could build up, if you wanted to, just a single layer down here to build that up. You can't stackopage or decoupage it, sorry, because as the box folds, it will just catch on that element, which is why we have these special tabs here. Again, if you go through the instructions, which are very clear and very simple to work with, you can see how that all works. Again, on this one, a very simple decoupage image for you, but a lovely, lovely Christmas image. And last but not least, something for the Mechanica lovers out there, gear Christmas tree. Okay, so those are the 40 images that come on the CD for you to work with. But of course, you can mix and match and create your own as well. That's the lovely thing with this. It's the starting point to make some absolutely fabulous cards. Now, there's full instructions here. There's printable instructions for you, and there's a video instruction. You need an internet connection for that. And we've got our envelopes and gift boxes here, our usual fare. A load of different envelopes for you to work with, and the box envelope here will actually fit your cards perfectly. And with this one, the edge, don't print edge to edge, just print it as normal size. These lines will just bleed off, but just cut that all the way along to the end and use those flaps. And just fold this side over to there, right over left, bring up the back, and then you've got a lovely flap on the top. Very, very simple. And of course you can work with that with the backing papers that come on the CD Rom. And what I'd like to do now is just run through with you here what I call card hangers. Now this takes you to a whole new page, and that's separate from the other CD, because if I just click on, these are all sized, ready, and with little holes as well. Put a thread through there, cut them out, use a little punch for the hole, and you can make some lovely hangers just to hang within the card. And that's the beauty of these. Adds a little bit more dimension. But you can as well just copy and paste. If you don't want to print them all, you can just click on one, Control C or Edit Copy, click onto the graphics. And here I've just already been playing with this, and I'll just Control V and paste one down. So I just have to have something on there. There we go, to say that it's ready to accept another bit of graphics. Now there's a tutorial on here and it shows you how it all works. So if you just want to print a couple, or you want to put a title with it as well, you can. It's just there to be used. You don't have to. You can just print these out, and they're all sized ready to go for you as well if you want to use them. Okay, and these are just additional elements on this page, which you may want to use as well. Okay, so when you're done with that, you either need to minimize it and then come back to the main page here, and so it works in conjunction with it. Okie dokie, so these are lovely cards. Finished examples you can see on the web page, and you can see what they look like. And there is a template which goes with this CD, but there is the template on here, digital one, which you can use to print with the backing papers if you want to. But with the main template, if you're working in conjunction with that, of course you can use whatever you like as well. It gives you a little bit more freedom. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it sort of gives you an idea of what you're going to find on here. I think it's a lovely Christmas CD in its own right. It's a little bit different. I try, I love my Christmas CDs, and try and bring you something new each year. This is just something, I like the idea of sort of almost a gift. It turned into a box. It was a little bit different. But I'm also thinking ahead that we've got a lovely idea here that could be used for all sorts of things. But on this one, it's clearly ready to be used with our Christmas images here. And as I said, full instructions. They are honestly, they are so simple to make. Just have a look at the instructions. It's a very simple box. It almost just sort of a few cuts and a few creases and it folds itself in. But you've got a lovely covers. You've got lots of opportunity to do some really lovely crafting with this CD Rom. Anyway, I hope that's sort of given you an idea, an overview of what you can find on it, and that you'll have as much fun making these cards as I have. Okie dokie, take care and enjoy your crafting. Bye bye.